Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, October 15th, 2024, and my name is Vanessa McDonald. I'm the hearing officer for the City of Tempe. I'm going to be conducting the hearing this afternoon. I have some things that I need to read into the record. I encourage you, if you're here as a property owner, to listen closely to what I'm going to read into the record because it will apply to your case. And then we can go ahead and jump into our agenda this afternoon. The City of Tempe hearing officer is authorized by Arizona Revised Statutes and the City of Tempe Zoning and Development Code. The hearing officer is granted the authority to conduct public hearings to decide upon the abatements of code violations occurring on properties within the city. These violations include deteriorated pools, structures, or landscaping, storage of junk or refuse, and inoperable or unregistered vehicles. Abatement actions are brought before the hearing officer by the city's Code Compliance Division, typically after numerous attempts at contacting the property owner to obtain voluntary compliance with the code. The hearing officer may issue an order directing the owner, occupant, property manager, or other responsible person to remediate a code violation, or may authorize the city to abate the property to correct the violation. The cost of the abatement is the responsibility of the owner of the property where the violation occurs and will be collected as an assessment against the property in violation of the code. On today's agenda, we have 3 items. We have a set of minutes from September 3rd, 2024, and we have 2 property abatements. Any property owner who is aggrieved by a decision of the hearing officer may file an appeal within 14 calendar days after the hearing officer has made a decision. The deadline for appealing any decision rendered today is 3:00 p.m. on October 29th, 2024, and there are some application fees required for that appeal. Appeals are heard by the Board of Adjustment, after which they may also be appealed to Superior Court. A property owner has 14 days after the hearing officer's decision to either file an appeal or bring the property into code compliance. If an appeal is not filed or the property isn't brought into compliance within this required 14-day timeframe, the property will be abated by the city. Joining me this afternoon from community development staff to my left are Cassidy Hernandez and Drew Yoakum. Thank you guys for being here and setting this up this afternoon. The first item on our agenda is a set of minutes from our meeting on September 3rd, 2024. It was held in this chamber. And Cassidy sent me the minutes from that meeting, and I believe they accurately reflect what took place at that hearing. So I'm going to go ahead and approve the minutes from September 3rd, 2024. The first item on our agenda this afternoon, or the first abatement, is a request to abate public nuisance items at the Arvayo property located at 1122 East Holbrook Lane. The applicant is the City of Tempe, represented this afternoon by Code Inspector Andres Lara Reyes. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
good afternoon. Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. My name is Andres Lara Reyes. I'm a code inspector with the City of Tempe Community Enhancement Division. I'm here this evening to request a 180-day open abatement for the property located at 1122 South Holbrook Lane, Tempe, Arizona, 85281. Property owner is Eliberto and Marcelina Arvayo. This case was initiated by a public complaint received by our office on September 5th, 2023 for trash, litter and debris, and over high grass and weeds in the backyard. Upon my inspection on September 11th, 2023, I observed trash, litter, debris, ladders, scrap, lawnmower, grill, wood, vehicle parts and tires, boxes, refrigerators, discarded televisions, engine blocks, and buckets in the front yard. I also observed inoperable unregistered vehicles in the front yard. There was also trash, litter and debris, scrap, metals, vehicle parts and tires, wood, vehicle rims, vehicle bumpers, vehicle dollies, evap cooler parts, 3 dismantled vehicles, and over high grass and weeds in the backyard. At this time, my first correction notice was mailed to the owner. On September 27, 2023, I received a call from Mr. Arvayo requesting a month extension, and the extension was granted for October 26, 2023. I inspected the property again on October 26, 2023. There was still remain in violation for trash, litter, and debris, and inoperable unregistered vehicles. At this time, a final correction notice was mailed. On November 14, 2023, the first citation was issued to the owner for trash, litter, debris, dismantled vehicles, inoperable vehicles in the front and backyard, and the fine was also paid by the owner. I met the owner at the property on November 28, 2023, to discuss the violations. There were minor improvements done. I offered him an emergency abatement cleanup if he wanted to bring the property into to compliance, but he denied, or he declined. I explained to Mr. Arvayo that in order to bring the property into compliance, the front and back must be completely cleaned. Items that he is allowed to keep in the backyard is like patio furniture, lawn equipment, and bicycles for personal use. Everything else, like tools and all the other items he has all through the front and back, they have to be stored in a shed or they have to remove from the property. I explained to him that major improvements must be done in the next 2 weeks to avoid a second citation. December 21st, 2023, I contacted the owner again by phone and asked him to continue making improvements. He stated that some of the vehicles will be removed. I asked Mr. Arvayo to take advantage of the city bulk pickup schedule for this area and to continue making improvements. He continued to make improvements for the following months, but on March 4th, 2024, I observed the property remain in violation. At this time, a second citation was issued, and that citation was also paid by the owner. I monitored the property for the next couple of months and saw that the owner continued to make improvements. I made contact with the owner again on June 4th, 2024. I met him at the property and explained that there's still work to be done. I hand-delivered photos and highlighted the items that remain to be removed. Items like scrap, metals, tubing, crates, appliances stored in the backyard. I asked him to take advantage of the bulk pickup schedule for June 17 through the 21st. On June 25th, 2024, I met Mr. Arvayo at the property again, and he was waiting for a pile of scrap to be picked up. It did appear that the owner was making an effort to clean up the property, but as of this morning, the property remains in violation for trash, litter, debris, inoperable vehicles, unregistered vehicles, and over high grass and weeds.
Thank you. Do you have photos
I
for
do.
today? Thank you.
Here's a photo from the backyard.
And this is today, correct?
This is today. There's some over high grass and weeds, a scrap, vehicle parts. This is towards the back of the yard. It's in the northwest area of the backyard. This is another that shows a little bit more towards the back. This is kind of like the same area.
And is that a car under the tarp?
It's a vehicle.
A vehicle of
Yeah,
some sort?
he's allowed 2 inoperable unregistered vehicles in the backyard. This is more towards the center of the area. You can see there's some discarded appliances, some scrap, vehicle parts that remain there. He did improve. He made a lot of improvements, but there's still work to be done. This is more towards the facing. It's more towards the south and center of the property backyard.
And is that the second allowable vehicle?
That's the second allowed vehicle. That's correct.
Thank you.
This is the front of the property. I assume he's getting that pile together for bulk pickup.
Okay.
but this is where it starts. It's towards the south center of the front of the property. And this is right next to the property, the front of the property. You see they have more vehicle parts, discarded items, scrap. And this is towards the center of the property here. He has multiple vehicles. There's a couple of vehicles that are inoperable and unregistered. More scrapped over the back, vehicle parts. And also vehicle tires, where those vehicles are at, where they're parked. There's some vehicle tires towards the back. Here's another copy of the unregistered vehicle. No plates in front of the property. I did speak to Mr. Arballo this morning, advise him to come to the hearing. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Well, the way procedure goes, I'll have you take a seat, and then I do have a card from Mr. Arballo, who is here, and I believe you would like to speak on the case, Mr. Arballo?
Mr. Arvayo, if you would, please state your name and place of residence for the record.
Albert Arlayo, 1122 Holbrook Lane.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Well, you heard the presentation that was given by Mr. Lara Reyes, the chronology of events as he laid them out. I had those also in my staff report that staff gives to me. And then you saw the pictures that were taken this morning. So I guess my question to you is, what do you have to add to that presentation? And what is your intention for cleaning up the property?
No, I'm still cleaning it. I've been cleaning it ever since it started. That pile of weeds by the car, it's all dead. I just have to bundle it up and throw it on the front. And,
Okay,
the front yard, the weeds all cut down a while back.
but you understand that the cars that are inoperable or unable to
Yeah,
be driven and
I've been
not
trying to get a hold of the
registered.
owners for the truck and the car, the yellow ones. They said they were gonna pick them up. They haven't.
Okay,
But I put some old tires in the back of the yellow truck. If he doesn't turn up, I'm gonna call this other man to pick it up, take it away, and a little car too. It should be running. I haven't put the fuel pump in, or the fuel tank into the car, because they haven't been around. But I got the engine to run, and then the fuel pump went out, so I had to put a fuel pump in it. After I cleaned the fuel tank, it was all dirty too.
right,
So I'll just have to get rid of him. He's not gonna show up.
okay,
And my, the brown truck, I gotta put a bumper on it and tow it out. So I go out there and take it to one of my cousins, see what he's got. He can fix it up or keep it. He wants it,
okay.
his father's truck.
So you agree there's still work left to be done
Well,
on the
not much,
property?
he's just picking up little scrap and stuff all over the place. Most of that's just loose. All the heavy stuff's gone. The
So,
refrigerators, and I have a reefer unit I was gonna put on the house, but I can't do it. I threw all my steel away to reinforce the front of the house, so I could put a reefer unit, a refrigeration unit on the top. But I can't do that without the steel to reinforce the bottom of where the cooler is I got in the front. I was gonna put an AC unit up there too, but I had to throw that away the beginning of last month. So that's one thing. That's something else that went away. So I just been doing a little by little. I had last June, what was it? My whole left side went dead. I was gone. I couldn't get to running around very good because what was that? Food poisoning. And that's why my voice is kind of, I threw up and I burned up my throat. And this was my leg and my arm weren't working. And in December, somebody hit me in the head. I fell on my hand. And my wife sent me to the hospital. And they messed up my leg. And they found a blood clot. And then they pulled that out. And that messed me up in the head, too. So I can barely write with this thing anyway.
Yeah.
So-
So you've been having some trouble.
Yeah, well, I was having trouble trying to pick up stuff, but I'm getting there. It's getting better anyway. But I've been throwing a load of steel and other stuff I got back here, like once a week. So I think I got maybe 2 or 3 more loads to take out.
Okay.
So,
Well, then your timing is good
well, if you
because,
could, because I could probably get it out by January. January,
yeah, it's October now. January is
yeah. Is it 2 months?
quite a while.
Yeah, well, that give me enough, because I got to fix the guy's car. I'm using a small truck to carry all the stuff out. His big truck is broken. I got to fix that. He's got that parked at his yard. So I've been putting him off on that. He wants his big truck back.
Right.
So I told him, because he's got an electric problem, and I got to look at it. And I haven't been doing it. Till I go out there, he's getting kind of mad. But I've lost my phone. That broke down. I got all my numbers. I had a couple of people I was going to call up to get to see if someone would buy my my Mustang, because I can't fix it now because the other 2 cars that I had there had an engine. The other one had a transmission. I could have put them in the car, and no, I ain't got them, so I ain't got nothing to put them in.
Right.
So, and I had to get rid of my father's truck because that one had parts in the black truck on the other side of the house. It had a transmission. I had the engine in the truck, but I never got around to doing that, put it in, because I had to pull the other truck out, put it all together, throw it out. I got the tires back, but I put them on the other truck in the front. Now they're going flat too. So I got to get another set of tires on the,
Okay. Well, thank you for coming today. I understand you're having some difficulties, but I also understand that this process has been going on for over a year now.
yeah, well, everything
You've been
happened
at
after
it for over
December.
a year. And I believe that Mr. Lara Reyes has been very patient with
Yeah.
you and giving you every opportunity to clean up
Well, I thought it
the
was
property.
over. I thought it was over, what, in September? Yeah, the beginning of this month. I thought it was all over now.
Well, based on the pictures that we saw today that he showed me from this
Mm-hmm.
morning, there's still quite a ways to go before we can consider your property to be in compliance
Yeah, well,
with the
I still
code.
got-
So when I started the meeting and I said I was going to read something into the record and I encouraged property owners who were here to pay attention, what I wanted you to pay attention to was the fact that if I render a decision today to abate the property, there's a 2-week window after today during which you can still clean your property. And if you can clean it to the satisfaction of the city, of Mr. Lara Reyes, then the abatement won't take place. So if you, as you said, have like 2 more loads, if you can get those done in the next couple of weeks, the abatement won't take place. However, if you can't, for whatever reason, transportation, your phone, whatever, if you can't get that done within the next 2 weeks, then the city will come in and they will clean up the remainder of your property and bring it into compliance. So I'm hoping that you're able, if, as you say, you're very close to getting it cleaned up and you're determined to get it cleaned up, I hope you're able to take care of that or take advantage of that 14-day window, because that would be helpful to you. It's not like if I rendered the decision today, they're going to be there in the morning. So you still have some time, but it's a pretty tight timeline. But then again, you've been at this for over a year. So I think it's just the way that the city is able to say finally, like, okay, we've been patient with you, this has gone on long enough, and we need to get it done to the satisfaction of the city and for the benefit of your neighbors. There's a complex next door to you and they look down into your property and they deserve, you know, as residents of Tempe, to see clean and code compliant properties. So that being said, based on the testimony today and the photographs and the testimony by Mr. Lara Reyes, I'm going to go ahead and approve the abatement request made by the city for your property located at 1122 East Holbrook, contained in case CE 234894. So thank you very much.
Okay.
That brings us to the third item on our agenda this afternoon. This is a request for approval to abate public nuisance items at the Blackstad property. Oh, that's okay. This property is located at 2119 East Sesame Street. The applicant is the City of Tempe Code Compliance, represented this afternoon by Code Inspector Hector Heredia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Madam Hearing Officer McDonald. As stated, my name is Hector Heredia, Heredia. I am a Code Compliance Inspector for the City of Tempe Code Enhancement Division. I'm here this evening to request a 180-day open abatement for the property located at 2119 East Sesame Street in the City of Tempe, 85283. This case was initiated on March 13th, 2024 for junk trash debris in the backyard, including overgrowth, a green pool, and missing address numbers at the location. Due to some communication concerns with the property owner and lack of corrective measure, citations and ongoing concerns are here today for an approval of the open abatement period. As stated, this case was initiated on 3/13/2024 by an anonymous complaint that was received regarding junk trash debris, deteriorated landscaping, a green pool, missing address numbers, and some minor overgrowth in the front yard. These concerns were verified and the first notice was mailed to the property owner about 14 days later. At my follow-up inspection, very little was done and a final notice was also then mailed to the property owner, making him aware of our ongoing concerns. Shortly after, on 4/10/2024, progress and ongoing efforts were noted during my daily route. An extension was granted towards compliance. Shortly after, though, on 4/2023, I left a business card at the location for contact in a final attempt to reach the property owner before a citation could go out. No response was generated. And on 5/6/2024, additional anonymous complaints were received regarding the deterioration of the property, mainly focusing on the backyard. On 5/21/2024, a first citation was issued after the property was not brought into compliance. That citation resulted in an FTA, or failure to appear. Shortly after that, on 6/10/2024, additional anonymous complaints were received by Code Compliance regarding the continual deterioration of the property. On 6/20/2024, a second citation was issued to the property after it could not be brought into compliance. The second citation also resulted in an FTA. On 7/13/2024, although progress was ongoing and efforts were noted, the pool was only half drained and most of the debris was cleared, but the landscaping was still in violation and also only half trimmed. So although efforts were taken, not totally addressed. And on 9/3/2024, after ongoing efforts to bring awareness to the property owner about the pending violations, and due to two citations, submitted the packet for the abatement hearing tonight on October 15, 2024, after continual efforts could not bring the property into compliance. At this time, I'd like to illustrate photos taken this morning at approximately 8:30, outlining what our concerns are, focusing your attention here in the bottom left-hand corner where there is a substantial amount of overgrowth. We can also see here in the center of the photo that the pool is semi-empty. But in the following photo, we will see that the pool continues to be out of compliance, although some efforts were taken, could not totally drain the sludge or deteriorating pool itself. And finally, this is the eastern portion of
Inspector, just make sure you're talking to the mic. Thank you.
This final photo illustrates the eastern portion of the property as well, located in the backyard where there is overgrowth through the gravel or landscaping that has not been trimmed. As of today, these two concerns are our only outstanding violations, and I'm here tonight asking for your approval for the abatement of a 180-day open period at 2119 East Sesame Street in the city of Tempe, 85283.
Thank you. And to clarify, you said the two outstanding items are the pool itself and the landscaping?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. I appreciate the photographs. I appreciate the testimony that you gave. I don't have a speaker card for this case. Do we have a property owner here who's wanting to speak?
No, Madam Hearing
No,
Officer.
there's not. Okay. Anyone on,
Not at this time.
okay, not online
No,
wanting to
ma'am.
speak? Well, thank you. Thank you for the thorough presentation, the thorough photographs. I have a good idea, of what's happening on this property and that swimming pool. I suspect a lot of it evaporated over the summer, and then now it's just hard to get that sludge out of the bottom of the pool. And it's a health hazard at this point. Mosquitoes breed in those bad, nasty waters. So I'm going to go ahead and approve your 180-day open abatement request for the Blackstead property located at 2119 East Sesame Street, contained in CE 241852. Thank you so much.
Very much. Have a great afternoon.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I would like to ask, in the prior case, was that a 180-day abatement request?
Yes, Madam Hearing Officer, identified in the packet.
Okay, it was identified in the packet, but I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
remember hearing it, so I just wanted to clarify that that was approved for the 180 days. That concludes our agenda for this afternoon. Do we have any announcements?
Yes, just the one. Our next scheduled hearing officer meeting is set for Tuesday, November 5th at 5 p.m. That will be held here at the Tempe City Council chambers as well as live on Tempe 11.
That is Election Day, and that's okay, we're still having the meeting?
As far as I'm aware, yes. If there's
Okay.
any adjustments, we'll make that notification.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That being said, we're adjourned. Thank you.